This presentation segment will guide you through the process of submitting the Notice of Completion form for transition nursing, which is nursing from LPN to RN. This form is now used by transition nursing students only. Practical nursing students and regular associate degree nursing students use a competitive entry and no longer submit the Notice of Completion. Helpful handouts. In this presentation, we will be discussing what a Notice of Completion is, items required for a Notice of Completion, how to take the ATI test of nursing fundamentals, how a Notice of Completion is used in transition nursing, how to submit a Notice of Completion, how you will know if your name is on the list, when you will begin the clinical program. Very importantly, the curriculum change for fall 2012 will be discussed. That happens later in this slide presentation. In addition to viewing this presentation, be sure to download these helpful handouts that provide more detailed information and that you can use as a reference. Steps to Transition Nursing, Notice of Completion, ATI Test Information, Transition Nursing Curriculum Guide. What is a Notice of Completion? It's a form to indicate to the nursing department a student's interest in and completed requirements for transition nursing. At this time, our LPN to ADN transition nursing program doesn't use a competitive entry system. So far, each semester we have enough seats to satisfy the demand. A student notifies us of their interest in our LPN to ADN transition nursing program by submitting a form called a Notice of Completion. Once a student completes the requirements on this form and submits it to the nursing office, Fulp 401, they will be placed on the complete list and be eligible for the next available class. More details about this process will be discussed in the following slides. Occasionally, a student will ask if being enrolled in a class is sufficient for counting it on the Notice of Completion. A student must have a grade of at least C in the required courses to count it on the Notice of Completion. If you have transfer classes, please allow student records enough time to evaluate your transcript for equivalent courses. Each LPN to ADN transition nursing student is required to participate in this Notice of Completion segment of the presentation before the form can be submitted to nursing. You'll be asked to evaluate this presentation in a bit. This evaluation verifies your participation. A South Carolina license, current and in good standing, must be noted as license number. A student may contact the South Carolina Licensing Board for information about receiving a South Carolina LPN license if the current license is from another state. The GPA must be a full 2.5. 2.49 will not satisfy the requirement. The entrance test for transition nursing is the ATI test of ADN fundamentals. Details for completing this test appear on the next slide. They are also in one of the handouts for this presentation. These details can be downloaded by printing the handout called ATI Test Information. If a student doesn't pass the ATI on their first attempt, it is strongly advised they review their weak areas, summarized at the ATI.com website. The student should take the time to study before repeating the test. If a student is unsuccessful on both attempts, they would gain entry to the nursing program by the competitive clinical entry process and begin at the ADN Nursing 101 fundamentals level. A student submits a Notice of Completion to the nursing department to indicate interest and preparedness for transition nursing. This form places your name on the complete list for transition nursing. A student whose name is on the complete list is eligible to accept a seat in transition nursing for the first available class. The earlier you submit your Notice of Completion, the earlier you can be considered for a seat in transition nursing. Each requirement must be satisfied before the form is acceptable. Once the Notice of Completion has been verified, you will receive an email in your Tri-County email account noting your complete date. It's extremely important to complete all requirements before submitting the Notice of Completion to secure your complete date. Email notification will come in your Tri-County email account of your acceptance to transition nursing. This email will contain a deposit letter, date for your mandatory orientation, and other important attachments for your information. You should look for it in your Tri-County inbox during the months of June for fall entry and September for spring entry. Nursing is bringing in transition students in spring 2012 as usual. Anyone submitting a notice of completion before classes begin will be considered for spring 2012 entry. Then, in fall 2012 only, we will not bring in a class of transition students. A curriculum change will take place in that semester. Any LPN interested in a seat in transition for spring 2013 will need to have completed Nursing 162, Psychiatric and Mental Health Nursing, in fall 2012. Fall 2012 will be used to take Nursing 162 by students who want to submit a notice of completion for a seat in spring 2013. The notice of completion can be submitted once all requirements have been met, including a grade of at least C in Nursing 162. After participating in this presentation, we hope you understand the process for and importance of submitting your notice of completion as soon as possible. You're welcome to view this presentation as often as you wish to review the information. When you submit the email presentation evaluation form, you have verified your participation in the notice of completion presentation. This satisfies one requirement on your notice of completion form. You will find the verification form in the list of handouts to the right of this screen.